Well, hi there. You can see I've taken my shirt down from the hanger. So praise the Lord, all the glory to Yahweh. Now, I just want to make this short video telling you that I have a Twitter account now. So if you have a Twitter account, you can Twitter me, and maybe I'll Twitter you back. But yeah, I'll try to leave some messages on there quite regularly, whether they're inspiring messages or I'll be posting pictures there. You can see some ministries I've been involved in the past, and obviously my previous video about inviting people out to evangelism for, let's say, a month. It doesn't have to be for a month, it can be for more than that. It really depends on the person and how it will go for the first few weeks with whoever is going to take up this offer, whoever the Lord is going to touch. The Lord's heart is going to touch, to go out there and do some evangelism as long as the time we have left on this earth before the actual rapture of the saints take place and the resurrection of the dead in Daniel 12:1, which the Jehovah's Witnesses say have already happened, which clearly hasn't happened yet, which proves again that the Jehovah's Witnesses are a false Christian religion, which we've exposed at Yes Around International. You know, when I'm giving out the flyers, you can only spend brief seconds with people because they're doing shopping. But I spoke to a woman yesterday, and she said that she was looking at the flyer. She's a Roman Catholic. She agrees with me that it's a mind control cult, but obviously she said that it should be more positive. It should be based on true Christianity, and I gave her publication number 2 because she took publication number 1 that last time, and I said you might not agree with it, but it will certainly well, you know, this is, you know, true Christianity. It's keeping the commandments. It's being born again in Yeshua, in Jesus Christ, and so we'll see. I met an interesting person the other day as well, William, who was ancestry from Germany. But he was a soldier. He's very interesting. What my spiel was yesterday when I went out was fear the Lord, keep His commandments, because I just made a video about that, and it was on a new moon. So I didn't really want to discuss the New World Order. I wanted to talk about Yahweh, about His kingdom, and about the commandments that we're expected to keep. So yes, there were a few people that took these flyers yesterday, and also were very shocked to learn about the aborted baby fetuses going into the food and beverage products, mostly by Pepsi Cola, that are doing this through a food flavouring company, I believe, called Cinemex. Do your own research about that. And also I saw today that Serco is very much involved in the technology that we're having today, and it's tied in with this New World Order. And but Yahweh is truly being shaking up the earth. What this New World Order has been doing, I believe that you can trace a lot of the earthquakes and different activities to basically any activities the New World Order has been involved in. But yes, certainly they have enough technology up and running that they continue to basically carry out their own type of terrorism in the guise of global warming, or whatever you would like to call it. But you know, these are the real terrorists. But we have today basically people being incited by the leaders to go to war, and you know, obviously it's due to demonic hosts and fallen angels that we know that are on the earth, and you know, we know that Revelation 1, the trumpet warnings are about to take place, which means there's going to be mass extinction on the earth in various places. And truly I believe that as Christians, you know, if we're going into cities, it should really be on the Lord's appointment. I believe that we should really pray about, if you're in especially coastal areas, if you're living in California, I'd really take it to the Lord in prayer. I know that a lot of Christians believe the rapture will happen before their cities will be destroyed, and you know, I salute you, I commend you for that, you know, because at least, you know, when the apostles knew that they were told by Jesus Christ that Jerusalem was going to be destroyed by the Romans, but they had a 3-year warning. You know, they were given a prophecy that the Romans were going to attack, and they basically entered the land, and then there was some point that they turned back, and there was a 3-year wait until they came back and they actually destroyed Jerusalem. And it was believed that the Apostle James was the only one who actually stayed and fought with the rest of the Jews, because he was very, he's a zealot, but the rest of the apostles, of course, were killed by the Romans, and obviously the rest of the church would have probably, most of them would have fled Jerusalem before the actual destruction would have taken place. So I've seen similar things happen throughout history. There were 3 cities in the Mediterranean during the 8th century. Again, the same thing happens, like Pompeii. A couple of centuries later, all the Christians were warning that God was going to destroy it, and Yahweh basically made volcanoes erupt, or whatever happened, I know it was UFOs, firing light beams into volcanoes. I don't know what happened, but what did happen was that Yahweh's word did come to pass, and basically these 3 cities were destroyed, and most of the Christians actually fled these cities before the destruction. So what we have now is 3 main cities, and the 3 or 4 main cities, and a huge population in the west coast of America facing the exact same scenario today. And I know that Christians such as Ruby's Table Talk and all other Christians that I've spoken to, real born again Christians, are basically avoiding California. And I myself have some friends and even family in California, and they told me that they lived high ground, but to me it's not high enough, because I've seen the level of tsunami that's going to come in there in the North Pacific, and it's going to be several hundred feet high. It's going to wipe out probably most of California itself. So if I stayed in California, I heard this message. If you've been led to any of the messages on my channel, I would really pray about it, pray very hard about it, to actually consider leaving California, unless of course you've been told by the Lord you're going to be raptured, and then that's okay, because I know that Jonathan Kleck preaches that, and but then maybe many Christians will be hanging on for that word. But I know that many Christians are also leaving California, so it's something to consider. And obviously the Twitter accounts should help us establish what the Lord's will is, especially for the people who live there. And I know there's going to be Jeremiah 25 speaks about, I think it's 25:32, actually speaks about the coastal cities of the earth going to be affected by these trumpets when they are actually blown. And we know that 1/3 of the ships and the sea creatures and the grass and basically 1/3 of mankind are going to be destroyed in the coming days. And unfortunately, most people are just getting a few of these things on the news, but their hearts and minds are not on the Lord. They're not on the Word of God. And even though that there are signs there for the unbelievers that these things are going to happen, I believe their hearts have been darkened, and their minds have been given over to their own delusions, and it's pointless probably actually witnessing to them. But we can't stay in prayer for these lost souls and hope that they turn back at the last minute. But I just pray that the Lord will lead you through the souls that are open to this, to the Word of God, and they do want to deliver their souls through the blood of the Lamb and through faith, and listening to the Word of God and what He wants you to do, where He wants you to be over the coming weeks, months, and possibly years left that we have on this earth before these judgments from Yahweh actually take place. So may the Lord bless you, and thanks for listening.